board at this meeting, please complete a public comment card and submit it to staff in a timely manner. Thank you. This time, may we also have a roll call, please? Present.
Board Member Patrice Stanzioni. Board Member Norma Gonzalez.
Present.
Board Member Dina Flores.
Present.
Board Member Dolores Rivera.
Here.
Student Board Member Saraí Jaramillo.
Here.
Student Board Member Cassandra Sam. Here. Superintendent Dr. Alejandro Alvarez.
Here.
Dr. Julie Harrison. Here. Maricela Barba. Here. Tomiko Nolasco. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum. We'll move on to approve agenda for the regular board meeting of May 13th, 2025. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second? Is
Second.
there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Pledge of Allegiance. Would our superintendent kindly lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Thank you.
So we have staff presentations or recognitions. The first one we will recognize will be awards and recognitions. Dr. Alvarez.
Thank you, Board President. At this time of the year, every school year, we recognize our Teacher of the Years and Classified Employees of the Years, and also take the opportunity to recognize our retirees on the certificated and classified staff of our employees. So with that, I'd like to ask Ms. Lee Nolasco to please come up and start us off. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, Board President, esteemed members of the board, Bassett community and family. We're honored to have everyone here this evening. As Dr. Alvarez said, this is our time of year where we honor all of our employee recognitions, including our Teachers of the Year, our Classified Employees of the Year, and of course, our retirements. And let me tell you, this year we have a lot of retirements. So we're glad that everyone's here this evening to share in this special celebration with us. So we're going to begin by acknowledging our Classified Employees of the Year. And we are going to ask that our honorees please approach our table, and we have a recognition apple for you. If you could please receive your certificate and your apple, and then if you could please wait by the table, we would like an opportunity to take a picture. Okay, thank you. So beginning with our 2024-2025 Classified Employees of the Year, these individuals were recognized and selected by their site colleagues and as the Employee of the Year for their school sites or departments. And we'd like to begin with Travis Anon, our Network Systems Analyst for District Office. Next, Ms. Alejandra Perez, Secretary 3 for our Facilities Development and Transportation Department. And from Bassett High School, it's Ana Duran Mancia, Attendance Records Technician. Ms. Alma Montes, Clerical Assistant 2 at our Bassett Adult School. Ms. Patricia Chavita, Health Services Technician at Child Development. Ms. Yolanda Bruce, Secretary 2 at Edgewood Academy. Miss Laura Isidro, Library Media Technician at Sunkist Elementary. Amina Karatachea, Health Assistant at Torch Middle School. Sarah Manzano, School Office Assistant at Van Wyck Elementary. And finally, our district classified employee of the year was selected. This representative, again, this individual was selected by a committee of colleagues and chosen as our district employee of the year. And I would like to present to you all Miss Amy Olivares, a health assistant at Don Julian School. Ms. Amy Olivares has served for 12 years as health assistant at Don Julian School, exemplifying excellence in work performance through her unwavering dedication, efficiency, and compassion in serving the students, families, and colleagues at Don Julian. Please give a round of applause for Ms. Amy Olivares, our District Classified Employee of the Year. Yeah, and then if we could have our district, Amy, if you could please take a picture with our board president and superintendent. Congratulations, Amy. All right, one final round of applause for all of our employees of the year. Thank you so much and congratulations. Next, we'd like to recognize our certificated employees of the year for 2024-25. Miss Megan Lerma, special education teacher at Bassett High School. Mr. Louis Cresley, adult education teacher at Bassett Adult School. Diane Gonzalez, child development teacher at Head Start, our child development Head Start program. Miss Darlene Chico, fifth grade teacher at Don Julian Elementary. Rachel Flores, a teacher at Nueva Vista High School, English social science teacher. Careful. Miss Laura Aronson, third grade teacher, Sunkist Elementary. Miss Crystal Wong, sixth grade teacher, Torch Middle School. And Miss Marta Castellanos, TK teacher at Van Wyck Elementary School. And now we'd like to present to you our 2025 District Teacher of the Year, Ms. Julie Chen, seventh grade teacher at Edgewood Academy. Ms. Chen is in her 24th year of teaching with Bassett Unified and has taught all 24 years at Edgewood Academy, serving as a fifth grade teacher for 16 years and 8 years as a seventh grade teacher. Ms. Chen was selected as Edgewood Academy's Teacher of the Year in 2004, 2005, 2018. In 2016, Ms. Chen was awarded with the Golden Apple Award by Edgewood PTA for teaching and leadership. Congratulations, Ms. Chen, on being selected as our 2025 District Teacher of the Year. All right, we can give one final round of applause for our Teachers of the Year. Thank you and congratulations, Bassett teachers. All right, thank you. Next, we will now recognize in recognition of our years of commitment and service to our district. We'd like to honor our 2024, 2025 certificated and classified retirees. Beginning with our certificated retirees. Ms. Joanne Carrillo, a teacher, preschool teacher, serving in our district for 41 years at child development. Mrs. Stella Weber, 29 years. Ms. Stella Weber is currently a teacher at Van Wyck Elementary. Ms. Darlene Lesk, Head Start teacher, 38 years. Mr. Douglas Lesk, teacher, Don Julian Elementary. Ms. Arlene Marr, psychologist, 25 years. Special education. Okay. Miss Michelle Gore, Sunkist Elementary School. And finally, Miss Melinda Medina, Van Wyck Elementary School. We can give a final round of applause for all of our teacher certificated retirees. Thank you. And now we would like to recognize this year's 2024, 2025 classified retirees. Beginning with Mr. Ruben Castaneda, lead campus security officer, 47 years at Bassett High School. Ms. Patricia Hanson, Instructional Assistant, Special Education. Ms. Patricia Munoz, Clerical Assistant, 14 years, Bassett High School. Octavio Ortega, Custodian, 2, 24 years. Mr. Ray Ruiz, Leeds Grounds Maintenance Worker, 37 years. Miss Emily Morales, Bassett High School Campus Monitor, 26 years. Miss Maricela Barba, Chief Business Officer, 3 years. And Miss Rose Bergrino, School Community Relations Assistant, 38 years. Thank you, Bassett retirees. On behalf of our Board of Education and Bassett community, we thank you for your years of service to our Bassett community, and we wish you the best of luck in your retirement. Can we give a final round of applause for all of our retirees? We just one last photo up. And honorees, we do have light refreshments over at the table if you'd like to enjoy. We'll take a 10-minute recess for any family members that would like to take pictures, and we all have some desserts over on the table. Thank you.
This recess. We'll reconvene at 6:03 p.m. And as a reminder for any folks who may be wanting to submit public comment, please go ahead and submit your card over here at this box by the secretary. Thank you. We'll continue with staff presentations and recognitions with the textbook adoption process.
Thank you, Board President. Mr. Tavite is here to present on the textbook adoption process that the district recently went through this school year for high school textbooks, social science, science, and some additional ones. So I'm going to go and turn it over to Mr. Tavite.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Simmental, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Alvarez. Thank you for the opportunity to come before you tonight to present the recent textbook adoption process that we engaged in this school year. We'll review the adoption process, share the information of the function of the committee and how it was made up. We'll explain how we gathered feedback from stakeholders and present our recommendations for adoption. Doesn't seem like the slide is advancing. Thank you. This slide briefly outlines the five-step process that the board has adopted for textbook adoption process. First, we form a committee of teachers. That committee then reviews possible publishers for piloting. The Educational Services Department works with all schools to ensure an adequate number of teachers in the affected grade levels will be participating in the pilot of these materials and give feedback to the committee members. Third, the feedback is shared with the school board. And then we do have, by ed code, have to have a public review of the materials and get feedback from the public. And then lastly, review all that feedback and the committee makes a recommendation to the board. This pilot was a little bit different in the sense that instead of piloting a program that's for the entire TK-12 system, this was just focused on the high school. Some AP courses in, we'll get into which ones they were, in the social science department, also AP physics, and then some electives in the social science department as well. So what we did this time is we had every teacher who teaches those courses, they were all involved in the process. And we did have every student who was in those classes pilot the materials as well. Next slide. So here you can see the committee members. These are all the high school teachers who teach social science. They were all involved, and also the AP physics teacher. That was put on this year as well because AP physics is only offered every other year. And so we didn't have students to pilot the materials with last year, so we put it on this year. These teachers all participated through a number of different meetings that we had. They worked on selecting which materials they wanted to try out from the various publishers that we brought before them. And they tried out the materials with the students. Each pilot was 30 instructional days. The first pilot was from November to December, and the second was in January, February. So this year, with this pilot, for the first time, we really formalized the process for getting student feedback. In the past, teachers had always informally spoke with students about how they felt about the materials and what they were getting out of it. But this time we did give a survey to students, and we had over 200 responses from students after each pilot that we engaged in. And the students reflected on the clarity of information in the book, the level of engagement that they got out of the book, what they thought about the layout, how easy was it to find information in the book and use the textbook, and their overall satisfaction with the book. We piloted 8 different courses And we got a lot of feedback from our students and teachers. And in every case except one, it was interesting that the feedback was in alignment. So what the teachers felt was the best choice for our students, the students also felt that was the best choice for them. There's only one exception to that, and that was very, very close, but there are some technical reasons why the teacher wanted to go in a different direction, but otherwise they were very aligned. Next slide, please. This is an example of the kind of notices that we send out to the public when we are inviting them to come in and review our materials. In this case, we had March 17th through the 21st. Normally, we might do that at the Parent Center, but in this case, we had it in the parent room at the high school since it was just dealing with high school, and we invited everyone in the community to come and see the materials. And we did have some parents come through. They gave some informal to the staff there, some informal feedback, just that they thought the books were very nice and they appreciated the materials being on display. We had an opportunity for people to fill out some comments. No one really took advantage of that, but we had the process there for them, and we do appreciate that parents came through and took a look. On the next slide, can see kind of the process so we received over 200 responses from students for both pilots. And we had several teacher collaboration meetings and discussions over the materials. We had ongoing support from all the vendors that participate in this, where teachers could email or call the vendors and get some help in real time as they were going through the pilots. We also had several check-in meetings for the Ed Services Department to see how it was going and get their feedback. And at the end of each pilot, we did debrief their experiences, and then again, analyzed all the feedback that we got from students and teachers as well. And like I said, there was consensus. On the next slide, you can see the AP materials that we're recommending was for psychology. This is the AP psychology course. There's also a general psychology that you'll see on the next slide. For AP human geography, AP world history, US history, AP, and also AP physics. And those are the selections that we are recommending for adoption. On the next slide, you see the selection for ethnic studies course, which is a freshman course. It's one semester that all students take. And then our college and career choice there, that comes with a lot of they'll come with online materials, but that one was particularly impressive, something called my 10-year plan, which the students really enjoyed engaging in and the teachers thought was very valuable, as well as Understanding Psychology, which is the book chosen for the general psychology course. And on the next slide, I just want to thank you for your attention and happy to answer any questions that you may have about the process.
Thank you, Mr. Dwight. Are there any questions from the board? For myself, just one clarifying, or two rather, excuse me. I think this was page 4 on the slide. It's under student engagement. On the left, it shows under the ethnic studies graph. What are the numerical values, the top being 3.95 through 3.45?
Thank you. Yes, thank you for that question. It was like a 5-star kind of thing. So they could select a score of 1 to 5, and that's the averages there.
And then my second question would be, aside from having the physical materials, is there any opportunity or will purchasing them come with a digital subscription with the books?
Yes. So in the consent calendar, I believe it details the adoption of the materials. There's digital licenses for the students and teachers to access the online materials. In some cases, there are workbooks, consumable workbooks, not for every class. And then for many of the AP classes, there's also many publishers have like a study guide to be more successful on the test. So when we have an opportunity to bundle that in with the recommendation, we did. And they also all come with some kind of professional development for teachers beyond what they've already engaged in the pilot. We'll have more opportunity for that.
Thank you very much.
Just a comment for me. I just want to say thank you for your presentation and also to thank the high school teachers and students that participated in the adoption or, the going through each one. I know it's a very meticulous thing that they have to keep records of everything and turn everything in. So I know that it's not an easy task for teachers to do because it is a lot of extra work. So thank you to the teachers and the students for participating because the outcomes will show later when the adoption is complete. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we will now move on to student board member comments.
Good evening. The Van Wyck teachers and scholars are hard at work. 3rd through 5th grade has begun SBAC testing and our kinder students are working on their iReady diagnostics. Teachers are continuing to work on writing with the students as we focus on reviewing the writing genres that we worked on all year. Our Van Wyck scholars have amazing brains and they're taking pride in their work and showing what they know. Our open house is a big success with most of our families attending and enjoying the amazing work the scholars are doing. Our first ever Color Run fundraiser took place on April 25th and we had many students participate. We were able to raise over $15,000 for our students and our ASB is already planning fun activities and ideas for our scholars. We are excited to have Altamed come to provide dental checkups for over 100 of our students. For the first year, our 5th graders will be going to Knott's for their end of the year field trip and we're very excited for them. There are great things happening at Van Wyck. Go Wildcats. Sunkist Elementary, Sunkist 3rd through 5th grade students are working hard on our CAS state test. They're working hard to shine on the test and show what they learned this year. We're so proud of their efforts to do their best in the test. A group of our Folklorico students performed at last week's Parent Academy, and they were awesome. Our next performance is coming up May 21st at 5:30 p.m. We welcome our Bassett community to attend this performance. A huge Tiger shout out to our teachers and classified staffs who are celebrating in the month of May. Our teachers and support staff do so much to support our Tigers' daily learning and safety. Thank you for all that you do. At Edgewood Academy this past week, we showed our teachers love during Teacher Appreciation Week. Every day, teachers received a small treat like donuts, coffee, nachos, and even a massage. We also welcomed our principal for a day, Ms. Norma Gonzalez, and students were so excited to meet their new principal. She was interviewed by our journalism students, visited classrooms, and met with students who needed to be reminded of the school rules and expectations. Edgewood Academy's brave knights are working hard and showing off everything they learned on the SBAC. They are rocking this test. Meanwhile, our TK to 2nd grade students are preparing for a spring concert with songs inspired by Disney movies. Our 8th graders are awaiting their end of the year activities. This week, they'll be going to Knott's Berry Farm and in the coming weeks, they'll have a trip to John's Incredible Pizza, a barbecue, and breakfast and awards. All these events culminating with the 8th grade promotion. Coming up next week is for our students will be the Edgewood Carnival. This will be for all students who have met the criteria and have earned enough tickets to attend. There will be food, games, and fun, and a few lucky students may even get to pie the principal. As we approach the end of the school year, the Edgewood Academy staff is so amazed and proud of all the accomplishments our knights have made. Don Julian kicked off the SBAC state testing with their annual rally and carnival for his students who met or exceeded the standards. We also recognized our students who made a band jump in score. We're looking forward to improved scores for the 24 to 25 school year. Our 8th graders had their end of the year dance with the theme Night in Paris on Friday, May 2nd in our cafeteria. We've had several grades go on enrichment opportunity field trips to the California Science Center, the Cal Poly Pomona Farm, Montebello Barnyard Zoo, and upcoming visits to USC and UCLA. We had an amazing Teacher Appreciation Week recognizing all the hard work of our teachers. We had a visit from Kona Ice, treats all week from our PTA, 2 amazing lunches, and the first annual Don Julian Games for our staff. At Torch Middle School, our Trojans are finishing the school year strong. Over the next 2 weeks, students will continue putting forth their best efforts as they complete the state testing. We are incredibly proud of their dedication, focus, and determination during this important time. Recently, our students shined during the spring band concert, showcasing their musical talents and hard work. It was a beautiful evening filled with melody and pride. In addition, we hosted our very first SBAC rally, an exciting event that brought our entire school community together to build spirit, encourage one another, and celebrate shared goals. The energy and enthusiasm were truly inspiring. Looking ahead, we have several exciting activities planned for our eighth graders as we celebrate their accomplishments and prepare to send them off to high school. Students can look forward to a special celebration movie day, a fun-filled barbecue day, and an unforgettable trip to Knott's Berry Farm. These events are a well-deserved reward for their efforts to create a lasting memory with their classmates. As a part of our ongoing attendance incentives, we're excited to continue our attendance challenges throughout this end of the school year. These challenges are designed to motivate students to show up every day, stay engaged in their learning, and finish the year strong. By promoting consistent attendance, we aim to reinforce the importance of being present, not just for academic success, but also for building strong habits that will benefit students beyond the classroom. As we approach the final stretch of the school year, students will also enjoy a fun and engaging field day as a part of our PBIS celebration. This is a time to recognize and reward students for their positive behavior and contributions to a respectful, responsible, and safe school environment. Let's finish the year strong, Trojans. Bassett Senior High School had a productive and celebratory spring semester. On April 26th, prom was held at Cal Poly Pomona, and it was a great success, providing students with a safe and memorable evening. Testing across grade levels is progressing smoothly, thanks to the support of our staff and families. Our juniors are being rewarded daily for their efforts with snacks for good attendance and effort. Our seniors who met and exceeded the standards on the SBAC last year were treated to burgers and fries from the Tommy's truck. A significant academic milestone was reached with 43 students earning the California Seal of Biliteracy, highlighting our commitment to multilingual achievements. In athletics, our boys volleyball team advanced in the second round of CIF, competing against CAM on April 2nd. We're pleased to welcome a new head football coach while continuing the hiring process for girls basketball, JV football, and additional assistant coaching positions. On May 4th, the Bassett Band performed at the LA County Fair, opening for Supervisor Hilda Solis, proudly representing the school community. We had a beautiful last coffee with the principal this past week. The Bassett High School admin team would like to thank all the families who are consistently coming out to the meetings each month. We are thankful to your partnership to build a better Bassett community. This past Friday, our Olympians were rewarded for their great behavior with activities on the field and handball courts. A great time to all who participated. We look forward to upcoming events, including the Renaissance Rally on May 16th, Senior Award Night on May 22nd at the Industry Expo Center, and the Senior Luau on May 30th at the Aquatic Center. We continue to benefit from our partnership with UltiMed Dental, providing students with access to dental health resources. Lastly, we would like to thank Ms. Dina Flores, our board member, for being principal for the day. It was great to see her interactions and care for the Bassett High School students and community. Overall, the final quarter of the school year has been filled with achievement, engagement, and a strong sense of school pride. It's always a great day to be an Olympian. At Nova Vista High School, we celebrated Mr. DeLuna, Ms. Flores, and Ms. Solis during Teacher Appreciation Week, expressing our gratitude for their dedication, time, and commitment to our students. We extended a special congratulations to our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Flores, who has consistently exemplified exceptional instructional practices that reflect outstanding teaching. We had the pleasure of welcoming our principal for the day, Dr. Rebecca Summers, an administrative mentor from LACOE. She participated in a luncheon with Nathan Alcor, our student recipient of Principal of the Day Scholarship. Our Wednesday celebration started with music led by our teacher, Ms. Solis, and featured performances by our students, Alex Garcia and Raimundo. On Friday, we gathered to bid farewell and express our gratitude to Miss Ava, our intern social worker. Throughout the year, she provided invaluable support to our students, positively impacting their well-being. We appreciate her dedication and commitment to our community. We're in the midst of state testing for our juniors in English, math, and science. Meanwhile, our seniors students are approaching their final weeks of coursework as they complete the necessary requirements to graduate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. We'll move on to public comments related to closed session. The board will now begin the public comment portion of the meeting. All public comment cards for both closed session and open session items must be submitted by this point of the meeting. The board will now hear public comments related to closed session only. Comments which do not address specific closed session agenda items will not be heard during this time, but may be heard during the public comments related to open session. In order to conduct the public's business of the district in an organized manner, for the privacy and safety of community members and to help district staff respond more directly. The board requires that public comments comply with certain procedures, including when addressing the board, speakers are requested to identify themselves and speak from the podium. Speakers may address only items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Speakers may not reserve or grant any portion of their speaking time to other speakers. Speakers are expected to maintain order, decorum, and not disrupt the meeting or use profanity when addressing the board. Complaints should follow the district complaint procedure before addressing the board, and speakers are to adhere to the applicable time limit of 3 minutes. The total time allotted for public comments on closed session agenda items is set at 20 minutes. In the event the estimated time for public comments based on the number of interested speakers will exceed 20 minutes, the presiding officer may equitably decrease individual speaking time to permit as many voices as possible. Pursuant to state law and board bylaws, presiding officer may remove a disruptive individual from board meetings so long as the individual is first warned by the presiding officer that their behavior is disrupting the meeting, and failure to cease such behavior may result in removal. If the behavior does not promptly cease, the individual may be removed. To ensure speakers can be heard clearly, members of the audience are requested to maintain a quiet listening environment and silence electronic devices. The board is committed to facilitating the public comment portion of the meeting in an inclusive and organized manner to hear from the community in which the board serves and is accountable to. Thank you. We will first hear from Don C. Moss.
Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Alvarez, senior staff. My name is Don C. Moss. I'm a longtime community activist in the San Gabriel Valley. I want to speak to the issue that the current board majority was seated as a result of classic primarying activities on the part of a professional anarchist who drifted into our area with the specific intent to destabilize our school districts. However, now, as duly elected and sworn board members, you must now take full responsibility for your actions which affect the district's functionality and ongoing financial health. If that time comes to be held accountable by law for damage caused to the district, you will be on your own. The puppet master will not be there for you. Please carefully consider your sworn duties now and ongoing. Thank you.
We will now hear from Francisco Arenas, although there is no comment on what they want to speak, but this is for closed session. Just make sure that's okay. That's fine. Okay.
Hi, my name is Francisco Arenas. I'm here representing my community, about sorry about I'm posting the project for Stone Properties that is going to be built just in my back of my yard. We are here like four neighbors.
Excuse me, sorry, was this related to closed session or just regarding the Storm Properties development?
Regarding the Stone Properties.
Okay, just
Opus-
1 minute. This is just for closed session, but
Okay.
you want to stand there. There's no other comments related to.
I think
closed session.
there's two.
Oh, you feel there's
Because
one? Okay.
I wasn't sure.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think I can see that. No, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
Do you
so
mind if we could restart the time because I cut him off there?
it's fine. Just I just need that opposing the Stone Properties project that you guys are trying to do in the Foundry School. And as a community member, we're gonna be impacted because it's gonna be built just back of my yard, basically. And as I know, I mean, the traffic is gonna be crowded. It's gonna be pretty much a lot of volume of traffic. It's gonna be I'm sorry, but I'm nervous. But just concerning about that, the dangers that's gonna be happening in the future. We have right now, they mentioned it about the 4th of July, like 2 years ago, the fire. I mean, the fire trucks, they can't even get in through. I was in the park at Whittier, and I had to rush over here because it was burning just behind my house in the yard. And so that's one of the concerns mostly. And I'm opposing for that. And I want to build to have a park instead of that. We I hear about that in 2013 about that. That was the diamond program or diamond. It was something about the conservancy of the fauna right there. To make another project for us, for the community, for enjoyment of the recreational. So just that. I mean, just take into consideration that it's gonna be dangerous for ambulance for us in the community. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. So just for the sake of consistency, so we'll move on to public comments related to open session with one comment already being heard. So the board will now hear public comments related to open session agenda items or matters under the board's subject matter jurisdiction. In order to conduct the public's business of the district in an organized manner for the privacy and safety of community members and to help district staff respond more directly, the board requires that public comments comply with certain procedures, including when addressing the board, speakers are requested to identify themselves and speak from the podium. Speakers may address only items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Speakers may not reserve or grant any portion of their speaking time to other speakers. Speakers are expected to maintain order, decorum, and not disrupt the meeting or use profanity when addressing the board. Complaints should follow the district's complaint procedure before addressing the board, and speakers are to adhere to the applicable time limit of 3 minutes. The total time allotted for public comments on open session agenda items is set at 20 minutes. In the event the estimated time for public comments based on the number of interested speakers will exceed 20 minutes, the presiding officer may equitably decrease individual speakers' time to prevent as many voices as possible. Pursuant to state law and board bylaws, the presiding officer may remove a disruptive individual from a board meeting so long as the individual is first warned by the presiding officer that their behavior is disrupting the meeting, and failure to cease such behavior may result in removal. If the behavior does not promptly cease, the individual may be removed. To ensure speakers can be heard clearly, members of the audience are requested to maintain a quiet listening environment and silence electronic devices. The board is committed to facilitating the public comment portion of the meeting in an inclusive and organized manner to hear from the community in which the board serves and is accountable to. Thank you. And again, for the record, we already heard from Francisco, so we will move on to the next one. We have George.
Good afternoon, board members. I have a question. What did we do to for you to attack us like that? Why are you guys hurting our community in so many ways? By continuing with the Florence Flanner lease proposal, you're hurting our wallets for you to benefit $300,000 per year. It's nothing compared to the amount these developers are keeping. It will take over 13 years to clear the $4 million deficit that you put us in. With the planned high-dense housing community, our properties lose value. As homeowners, we trust and rely on these equity appreciation over the years. And by building these condos, you will hurt our future in many ways. You are hurting our health and safety and depriving us from a quality of healthy living. We need open areas for our community to benefit. The shooting that happened last week, that's an example that our community needs to take action and provide us a safe place to live. We need to move kids from the streets and provide more green areas for our residents. A healthy community would be a better investment for years to come. I urge you to reconsider and really look back at the pros and cons of leasing this campus. Because today we're dealing with this. Tomorrow it might be another campus. I ask Bassett Board that I ask you guys to please consider it, take a step back, and stop hurting our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now hear from Yolanda.
Good evening. Hello, Bassett board members. I hope you all had a great Mother's Day. My name is Yolanda. I live on Millbury Avenue, the street that's going to be most impacted. I'm here today to remind you that our neighborhood is or not for this build. This would leave our neighborhood with the burden of construction for months or even years, high traffic, and lack of safety for our children. We are still committed to fight the fight. It brings no value to our community. We hope you come to your senses and cancel this build at Florence Planner Elementary School. Thank you, guys.
And lastly, we'll hear from Luis.
Good evening, board members. First off, I hope everybody had a happy Mother's Day. And congratulations to all the teachers and our retirees on their wonderful and hard work. It's very appreciated. Again, I'm also here, part of my community, as a homeowner that's going to be directly impacted by these Florence condos. We are still against it. I'm here to remind you we are still against it. We are still strong. We're still standing strong. It's a long-term lease, a lifetime lease. It's gonna outlive me, it's gonna outlive you, it's gonna outlive my daughter. My daughter's 2. It's a long-term lease with short-term positive income for the Bassett School District. That's gonna be quickly negligible. I ask and I hope that you remember as you continue this project, as you continue looking at proposals or we work for new iterations of this project, please remember me, please remember my daughter, please remember everybody in my community that is against this project. Thank you very much.
We will now move on to superintendent's comments. Dr. Alvarez.
Thank you, Board President. It's been a busy last few weeks since our last board meeting. Just reiterate what everyone said. Hopefully everyone had a nice Mother's Day on this past Saturday or Sunday, depending which day you celebrated it. Also, last week we did this celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week. And just wanted to give a shout out to all our teachers and their hard work throughout the school year. I know it's coming down to the end. They're looking forward to summer vacation, but I did want to thank all of them for their hard work and dedication to the students of the Bassett Unified School District. And I did want to give a special thank you to Tamiko and her entire staff that helped put together the appreciation events and things that we provided for our teachers. So thank you to her and her team. We did have our parent academy 2 Saturdays ago. It was a pretty good turnout. We have about a total of 150 parents, about 75 consistently. The others came and kind of went throughout the day. A lot of them towards the end when we had our celebrations with our students and recognitions. And then also we recognize our Family Leadership Institute parents who participated in the 3-day training. And so we want to thank them. And once again, I want to thank Julie and her entire team who put together the Parent Academy for that Saturday. So thank you to her and entire team. With that, we also had Principal for a Day, as you heard it mentioned. Thank you to all the board members that were able to attend. We had a great ending to it here and the scholarships for our students. And we have coming up next week, we do have Classified Appreciation Week. So we look forward to seeing you here around next week. Wednesday, we will have our classified luncheon. So thank you to the Personnel Commission, Janelle, and her team putting that together as well, and everyone who's donated. So thank you. And with that, just have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to board member comments. Board member Dina Flores.
Thank you, Board President Cimental. Once again, I reiterate my colleagues' comments. Feliz Dia de las Madres. May 10th was Feliz Dia de las Madres. And Happy Mother's Day to all our moms in the district. And congratulations to all our awardees today. Thank you all for your service and for all that you do for our students and for our families. Also want to recognize, a lot has happened since the last board meeting. We've had Administrative Professionals Day. These are us frontline staff. Thank you for, on our campuses and everything. Thank you for all that you do, for your dedication. We appreciate it, what you do to serve our students and our families. This is front office staff, our campus monitors, school student safety student monitors, everybody who participates. Teacher Appreciation Week was really great. Thank you to all our teachers. We do appreciate all that you do. On Principals Day, I would like to acknowledge and appreciate the vital role that our principals play in education. We recognize your leadership and commitment and the significant impact you have on students, teachers, and the entire community. In April, I had the opportunity to host a meet and greet with Senator Maria Elena Durazo. It was a great session, which included several elected officials, and we had the opportunity to share a lot of community concerns. So this was great to be heard. I had an amazing opportunity to attend the Coast to Coast Conference held in Washington, D.C. at the end of April. This is where school trustees and administrators from throughout California were in attendance. The conference is an annual joint advocacy between CSBA and ACSA, which brings together school trustees and administrators to advocate for federal funding and resources for the nearly 6 million public education students in California. We heard from elected senators. I think Kevin Kiley was there and Schiff was there also. Along with several of our San Gabriel Valley delegation, West Covina, Baldwin Park, Azusa, El Monte, Union High School. We met with Congressman Gil Cisneros, where we shared important data from our school districts and stressing the importance of continued federal support for crucial programs like school meals, special education, and other areas. And also not having the funds that are allocated be so restrictive. When federal funding gets increased, it is less that we need to pull from our general fund, allowing the savings to be used for programs that support the general student population and other areas, such as offering competitive compensation to our staff. As a trustee and a professional in higher education, I am very passionate about ensuring our students have all the tools and resources they need to be successful, for they are our future. Parent Academy, it was great. It was amazing. Thank you to Dr. Harrison and her team for putting this great event together. Ms. Consuelo Kickbush, she remembered me from the last one. Oh my God. She knocked it out of the park again this year. There were 3 great sessions: active parenting, and it was a bilingual workshop where parents learned effective strategies to support raising confident, responsible children. Supporting your child with college and career gave an opportunity to discover resources and strategies to help students navigate college and career. And this is very important, especially for our first-gen students. When they graduate high school and they get to college, they're like, okay, what do I do? Do we have a roadmap? Do we know where we're going? That kinds of things. And those are all important things as part of navigating first-year college. Goal setting, prioritizing, and envisioning the future. I believe Dr. Harrison led this one, which is really nice. I really like vision boards. They're pretty good. But parents learn techniques for helping families set meaningful goals, prioritize effectively, and create a vision for future success. Do you know where you're going? Do you know what your plan is? And then that's not saying that it has to be set in stone, because we have college students that get to college and they'll change their major maybe 2 or 3 times. But do you know what it is that you want out of life? And just putting it down in a vision, on a vision board, it just makes it more vivid, and it just kind of brings a manifestation to that. Thank you to Ms. Rosie DeCoing and her team for offering childcare so our parents could participate. And thank you to our Bassett PTA for participating in this day. Principal for the day. Yes, I got to be principal for the day at Bassett High School. The day started at Nueva Vista, where Dr. Summers was principal for the day there. We heard an exciting chorus of 3 students who sang and played their instruments. I had the recording, but I can't play the recording, I guess. But anyway, it was really a great experience. We went on to the high school, and it was wonderful visiting the classrooms and learning all about what the amazing leadership team is doing. Walking around and interacting with students, I can see that our students are happy to be there. Dr. Maldonado is very well respected by the students, and you can actually see that. I love that she addresses students by names. I mean, sometimes I know faces, but I just got to connect the name to the face, you know? But she knows every single one of them. I actually met a student that is already starting their own business in retail. For Principal's Day, they celebrated Principal's Day, and her office is covered in affirmations from the students, things that they've said there. Thank you for being so wonderful. We love you, and they're all over her office. And keep in mind that she actually took some down so she could do her work. Our dual enrollment program is growing. Thank you to Ms. Galavitz. This year, there's a total of 11 course offerings. So dual enrollment is the program that we have, and we're collaborating with Mount SAC. So students can take college courses and get college course credits. So we have a total of 11 course offerings now, which is an increase from the 6 of last year. So this is really great. Our CTE programs are thriving. We have pre-engineering, business, medical, and the newest one is child development, and we're continuing to enhance the STEM program. Enrollment decline is happening everywhere, even in higher ed, okay? With that, the funding decreases, but the team at our high school is continually finding a way to make things happen for our students. Lately, it seems that the focus is on negative, but that does not define our nearly 800 students at Bassett High School. That's not the vibe I get when I was on that campus. And I have attended things such as the coffee with the principal there. There are great things happening at our high school, and we need to recognize and share all the positive that our future leaders of tomorrow are accomplishing. Thank you so much, Bassett, for being here today, and take care.
Thank you very much, Board Member Dolores Rivera.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody had a great weekend and a happy Mother's Day to mothers out in our community. And they were celebrated at St. Louis of France Church on Sunday, the mothers with the flower and a big group picture with Father Mike. So it was a nice celebration. And then I want to congratulate all the teachers of the year and the classified staff of the year, because we have great teachers and we had great classified workers. So for them to be of the year, that means they had to step it up. And it's a hard act to follow the good ones. Now imagine the year of the year. So it's wonderful to see that we're still celebrating them, showing them that we appreciate the work that they do. And I think classified is tomorrow, classified day? Next week for them with a luncheon for them to thank them for all their, what am I asking them? For all the work that they do for our, I'm going to use the word that Principal Paredes from Van Wyck used as scholars, for all our scholars. So thank you to all of them and congratulations to the winners. And Parent Academy was great. I learned a lot. I went to the workshops. I was honored enough to be escorted by Mr. Divide to all the workshops. And there were 3 of them, and see what they're working on and going by. And thank you, Dr. Harrison. I learned a lot. I'm using your vision board with my 13-year-old. And she's really getting into it now because she was getting, you know, puberty and all that, the way they go through. But she's doing great with this vision board and what she wants and what she's looking for. So that was a good idea. And I had forgotten about that. So it was great. So I was principal for the day at Van Wig. There's a lot of learning going on with the little ones, starting from TK. They are writing sentences and using little erasers to space and clear sentences that you could see, and you could see the space they're not running through, but the spacing. They love to show you their work. I walk in and look at my work and look at this. Another class of second graders is doing the worms or caterpillars to butterflies, and they were telling me about the process, the stages, and they're at the crystallite or something stage, and they're showing me what's gonna happen, and they're just so excited and proud of what they're doing themselves and confident that it just walking into the school, you could feel the atmosphere very peaceful, very inviting with the students. I met the aides that are there, very welcoming, the staff, everybody. It was a great day, especially when they went out to their recess and how happy they were with their new equipment, playground. And they wanted me to thank the board and the staff, district staff, for their new playgrounds in kindergarten and at the upper grades. Kindergarten didn't even want to wait for a grand opening or anything. They said, let us play now. Forget the grand opening. So they let them play now. They let them use the playground. There's a xylophone and bongos, and they were playing them, showing me how they would do it. And so it was a great day, a great fun day. I attended the coffee with the principal here at Bassett High School. It was very informative. It was on dental by Ultimate and how they're bringing their mobiles to the communities to help them, and not just the students, but the parents or community members when they see it, you know, they could go stop by and ask questions and see how they could be part of it. And so that was great. I saw a lot of the parents. She has a good turnout at the coffee with the principal. A few of the parents got up and spoke to her and thanked her for everything that she's doing for the students and for them and the programs that they're bringing to the community and to the parents and working with them. And so they were very happy and how much they admire her tenacity and working with the students, her, Mr. Torres. Is it Torres? Yes, right?
Torres.
And Mr., I'm bad with names, I'm sorry. And Ms. Galvis, Galvis, and she's really working, and it's just a big group of parents that are very happy and comfortable with each other, and not just Spanish speaking, but Asians and white, everything. They're just all very well grouped that has formed there and going with the coffee with the principals and very hardworking parents. So I want to applaud the parents that go to all the meetings and are very helpful with her. And they ask for, and they tell her what they would like to see next or what they want to see or hear, and she gives it to them. And then I also wanted to touch a little on what my colleague, the vice president, said last at board meeting, that she has been telling us about the high school going down and not being prepared and not doing this. And it's very negative. And it's very demoralizing for our students and our parents because they're so proud of what they're doing. And they are doing a lot of work. I visit the classes and they're doing a lot of work. And the parents, you know, they're very proud of what's going on and the work that their students are doing. And it's just moralizing when they hear a board member that is supposed to be representing them talking very negative about the school. And yes, and especially about us, that saying that it seemed like the board or the district didn't care when she made comments before that, but yes, we all care. And yes, we could only do so much. We can't make them do the things that they need to do, the parents nor the students. Just for example, we have quite a few mental health facilities on campus. And one of them is Foothill. And I was talking to them and they were telling me that they would refer 18 students to them. And out of the 18, 5 either declined, didn't follow through, or didn't say anything. So we can't make them or change them if they don't want to do the work, or we can't do the work for them. we could give them the tools, we could offer that to them, but we can make them do this. I would, I wish there was another way. And then with this discipline, now that the suspensions or the hard disciplines can be done, like when we're going to school, now it's restorative justice, and it seems like it's not quite there or working for our students yet. Or maybe we need more training or something, but we need to do something else and not just bring the problem, but we need to find solutions, and we all need to work together. The teachers, the principals, the students, and parents, and district office and us, the board. We all need to work together to find a solution to see how we could work together and find a better way of discipline so our students could learn what's sociable and what is not. Because it seems like everybody, even in our community, there's no law. Everybody grabs and goes and nobody does anything. They don't care. We got, the sheriff department got defunded, so there's not as many sheriffs as you see around, driving around as they should be. But we need to do something about it. We, the community, need to work and do something about it, not just bring the problem to somebody and fix it. No, we all need to work together, get together and do something about it and talk, maybe have a meeting with the sheriffs or the supervisor or the senators in town. What could we do? What else could we do? So that's about it. And thank you all for coming, and thank you all for your comments, and good night.
Board Clerk Norma Gonzalez.
Good evening. I want to thank the community once again for coming out and speaking up about, what matters to you. We do appreciate your comments. I see a few new faces, so thank you for paying us a visit. Please know that your voices are heard, or your comments are also taken into consideration. And I also want to remind you that at this process, you can still visit the Baldwin Park City Council meetings to express your concerns about the facility, because that is where the process is right now. I also want to assure you that there is no illegal dumping happening at our Flanner site, and the Child Development Center is going to still be there. Then it's not going anywhere. So I hope that that eases some of your concerns. I want to move on to Principal for a Day. It was probably the highlight of my week or my month. I had such a great time. I got to visit Edgewood. Principal Leal had a wonderful day planned for us. And it's funny because I told my students that I was going to be out because I was going to be principal for a day. And the first thing they said was, "Are you going to get to yell at the kids?" And I said, "Do you think that's what the principals do?" So, but I actually did get to yell. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. But I did get to sit in on a couple of, chats with a couple students that made, some decisions that were not, very good for them. So that was great because I got to see the PBIS system working in the schools. I am also, my school where I work also is a PBIS school. And when it's followed faithfully, the results are tremendous. The behavior, the connections, all of that comes together with the PBIS program. So I really, really commend Principal Leal for that. And the kids were so excited to turn in their tickets for prizes and things like that. So if we could support that in any way, in all the schools, I would really, like to do that. And, they're happy with, the little ones are happy with little trinkets. The older ones want food. So I'm like, I understand. Yes. Okay. And it really does keep them motivated, and it keeps bigger behavior issues at bay, because you're building not only relationships with your students, but you're also letting them know upfront what the expectations are for them. And that's why I'm such a big proponent of the PBIS program, and I'm very, very happy with what I saw at Edgewood. Yes, so I did get interviewed by the journalism students, and that was amazing because my undergrad was in communications, in public relations and journalism. So I got to share some of my knowledge with them. I also got to walk around and see the upper grades, which was something I didn't get to do during the open house. And they were getting ready for SBAC testing. So I just peeked in really quick, said hello, and what I saw was amazing teaching, amazing learning happening. And I'm just so proud of this district and everything that the teachers, administrators, everyone is doing and working so hard to give our students every chance that they could possibly have and is available to them. They deserve it. They deserve everything and more. And you can see that, the teachers and the administration and the district office are working really hard, as you saw during the textbook adoption presentation. And so I just want to say thank you again for the opportunity. I think maybe next year we can invite more of the community members, a lot of our newer maybe merchants, things like that, so they can get to know the school district a little bit more from the inside. I think that would be a great opportunity for them too. I still have 2 more school visits to do, so I'm going to try to get it before all of the end of the year celebrations. So the adult school and Nova Vista, I'm coming, I promise. And I do look forward to all of the end of the year celebrations, graduations, promotions. I unfortunately, because I work during the day and I am a teacher, I can't make all of the events, but I do appreciate all of the invitations. But you will see me at some of the evening and weekend celebrations for sure. I personally, I just finished my 4th Master's in Governance course. I have 1 more left. I'm learning so much. I thought I knew a lot, and I just realized that I learned so much more taking these courses. So thank you to the district, the community for allowing us to do courses like this, because it just makes our decision making a lot easier when you're in the know and how everything needs to be running smoothly. The last board meeting, I unintentionally left out the health professionals and nurses day, and I apologize. I was just so excited about Teachers Day as a teacher, sorry. So thank you again to our nurses, our health assistants, our health paras. Thank you for everything that you do. Our students trust you, we trust you, and thank you for everything that you do. And I want to just end with a congratulations to all the award recipients and retirees, but specifically for me, Ms. Rose Burgueño. She was not only a band mom, a community friend, and a wealth of knowledge for me. But she's just the most caring person that I have ever known, to be honest. I appreciate her kindness. I appreciate her tenacity. And it's sad to see all those years of knowledge leave with her, but I know that, we will be able to say thank you to her the way she deserves it, and how many years she's given to this district. I appreciate everything that she's done, and I know that the families are the ones that are going to be the saddest when her last day approaches. And that's it for me. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you very much. And again, of course, happy Mother's Day to everyone in the community, especially all the mothers who are joining us at every board meeting. So I appreciate everything y'all do. Of course, Teacher Appreciation Week. We had Principal Appreciation Day last week. The Principal for a Day program, I had such FOMO realizing every single person to my side over here has been a principal for a day last week, except for me. So really was nice to hear all you report out all the amazing things that's going on with the respective sites you were at. Of course, congratulations to our scholarship winners. I think only one of them wasn't able to attend, but you know, we're still so excited for you all. Um, aside from that, the retirees, it's always a personal kick for me to just see the folks who've been working in the district longer than I've been alive. And it's I can't even put into words how grateful I am that you choose Bassett each and every day. You know, despite our imperfections, you know, we really are a community that sticks together. We're from this community, we live in this community. I don't know how many CSEA members, and yes, a couple teachers too, but you know, who still live here, you know, who were former students here and grew up and stayed here. So for all of our awardees, honorees, whatever you want to call them, for both certificated and classified. All the appreciation to you, and very looking forward to honoring our classified employees next week, as we did our teachers last week. For other folks who spoke today regarding the proposed development behind Flanner, and then to the community who also might not catch it, the Flanner Child Development Site, that will remain. Of course, Flanner Elementary has been gone for this longer as I've been a student here, but the Child Development Site will still be there unimpacted. But as my colleague mentioned, especially if you have a lot of the feedback and concerns, and you really need to make sure that someone who can do something with all the input that you have, definitely reach out to the city of Baldwin Park, to their planning commission, to their city council. I think my colleague said it pretty succinctly of if you really want to make an impression of who has the ball in their court at this juncture, I think that would be the more appropriate point. Obviously, you're more than welcome to be here. But never, you know, you're our community members, and I'm happy that you're here on a Tuesday evening. But I also want you to be robustly aware that the city of Baldwin Park would be the best resource for you at this moment. But still, thank you for being here. And our amazing audience who was here before our presentations began. Sorry, Mr. Devite. But it is nice to see a lot of our community present. I am looking forward to seeing a lot of our community in the coming weeks with the end of the year activities at the different sites, senior awards, where we recognize our scholarship winners, all the different graduations, promotions. But we still have one more board meeting before then, so we're not saying our farewells for this school year yet. We don't sign our yearbooks yet. But it was really, I am looking forward to that. That's always really great. And I do appreciate our new colleague for getting the things done. I know very informally when she was elected, I gave her my 2 cents, and I gave her a personal charge of don't go to promotions and graduations without going to all the sites at the very least. And I say that to a lot of folks, just because I don't want to be that board member, and I don't think any of us really do it, but I see them in other districts where a board member only goes to the fun stuff, and they're not there, you know, in the year. They're not there actually seeing the good, bad, the ugly. I don't want to be that. So this is just another point of holding me accountable to principals who are listening in. If you think you haven't seen me admit, email, text me, bother me, and I will be right there. But I like to think I do that sufficiently. Most important, not importantly, but bringing back to a site that I was ignoring for a bit unintentionally was the adult school. And I was really happy to attend their career fair that they had last week or 2 weeks ago. It was like one of those days where it was blistering hot like the whole week, and then it was freezing cold that one day. So whatever that day was. But it was great to, oh yeah, you were there. Like, why are you smiling so hard? Because you totally know what I'm talking about. It was really great. I wish there was more opportunities for engagement at the adult school. And I was telling the leadership there, obviously, you know, there's no, you know, rally, there's no student assembly, you know, every week. So taking that extra effort to meet with them. And that's a demographic why I'm very cognizant of when I refer to our students, I say students, not children, because, you know, they're adults. But it was great to see them. This weekend will be the California School Board Association Delegate Assembly, their May meeting in Sacramento. So wishing our colleagues up there all the best as they advocate for our students and our board, our local autonomy. And next week will be the LA County School Trustees Association annual membership meeting. That will be where our association will be electing our officers for the upcoming year. So looking forward to the upcoming executive board there. And then also just confirming. So everyone got this. So our colleagues, you may have noticed that you saw a Brown Act document here. It's a resource from the California School Boards Association. You may have gotten one depending on when you first ran as your like orientation when you ran for board. I donated one of mine to a community member a couple months ago. But I thought it'd be important that we all have a updated copy. So this is also, I think, a commitment that we are aware of our obligations. There will also be another resource. I have to see if it's in stock, and then I'll bother the staff to see if it's in stock. It's called Call to Order. It's also from CSBA, and it's tailored towards presiding officers, but we all should be prepared should duty call. So I will also see if we could get that just to have that resource as well for all of us to know what best practices would be as we're on the dais. But with that, thank you to everyone. Good luck with the end of the year. It's still May. I think I kind of jokingly said that last week at that teacher PD, and everyone kind of good grief side, it's still May. So let's not make the night longer than it has to be. Thank you for that. We will now move on to closed session. So I'll read the three headers for the topic. So item number 1 will be conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. Item number 2 will be conference with legal counsel, potential litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9. And item number 3 will be conference with labor negotiators, Board President Aaron Cimental and Salvador Hogan Jr., General Counsel, in the matter of unrepresented employee. We will, if I can have unanimous, if there's any objection, we will adjourn to closed session at 7:09 PM. Is there any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Thank you.
See if there's any.
We'll reconvene at 8:48 PM. My dyslexia did that. I wrote 4:84. That's not even an hour. Okay. Report of action taken at a closed session, Madam Clerk.
None?
Thank you very much. Discussion action items. Item number one, approval of resolutions. Number one, resolution number 038-25, National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. And number two, resolution number 040-25, School Lunch Hero Day Resolution. I can ask for unanimous consent to consider both resolutions in mass. Is there any objection? No. Is there a motion to approve both resolutions?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Gonzalez. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Rivera. Any discussion on the motion?
Well, it was Ms. Flores.
Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Y'all are so far. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Item number two is correction to numerical assignment of new board bylaw 9323. 9323.5, public participation and conduct at meetings. I apologize. I should have the recommendation right here. That's my bad. 1 second.
He's mumbling to himself. Okay, yeah.
Okay, we're back in business. So the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the revision of the new board bylaw 9323.5 to board bylaw 9323.8 in alignment with the California School Boards Association available board bylaw code numbers. I'd like to make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Flores. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be items that will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar. Are there any matters under the consent calendar that a member would like removed? Hearing none. Oh, excuse me.
I
Yes,
just have
go
one
ahead.
quick question for, it does, I don't want to necessarily pull it, but the purchase order increase for Olivares Madruga. What?
Dr. Alvarez, would you mind?
Yes, Board President, that goes in line with item number 3 under human resources. Some additional funds to get us through the school year with some additional items HR is working on with them.
I'm good.
Is there a motion to, approve the consent calendar as scheduled? Is
Motion.
there a second?
She second.
Oh, who was that? I'm sorry.
First. Rivera.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Adjournment. Next regular board meeting will be held on May 27th, 2025. Adjourn regular board meeting of May 13th, 2025. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion on the motion? Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned at 8:52 PM. Thank you.